Some notable games for the Week 10 slate. Yeah, Seahawks and Buccaneers, they're going to be playing at Bayern Munich's home ground in Munich, Germany. Got the Colts and Raiders with Jeff Saturday making his NFL coaching debut. Mike McCarthy returning to Green Bay, and Chargers and Niners, huge one Sunday night for both squads. And for more of a look ahead to this weekend's NFL slate, we welcome in the Wizard of Odds himself, Kenny White. Kenny, this is all of you and very little of me. We're starting with the best wager that you see on the slate against the spread this weekend in the NFL.
I'm going to go Chicago Bears, 2.5. That point spread is something the key number of 3 really attracts me to this football game. And I do like the Bears offense as of late. They've been putting up points last 3 weeks, 32, 29, and 33. And you see there on the graphic, Detroit 0-11-1 on the road under Dan Campbell. Try-hard team, but on the road they struggle. They were 5-4 ATS last year, 1-2 ATS on the road this year, 0-2 ATS playing outside. Matt Eberflus has the Bears playing well, I think. So, Russ, for me, the best bet right now, lay 2.5 with Chicago.
All right, how about the best value that you see out there on the money line?
I'm going to go with the first-time head coach, Jeff Saturday. He's never coached a game in his life, and I'm going to predict him to win straight up this weekend. You know,
wow.
When Frank Reich lost last year at Jacksonville the last week and then the year to make the playoffs, he should have been fired then. That was the point. You should have fired him, because that way you're telling everybody, hey, we want to make the playoffs. That's what we're here for. They lost last year. They came back. They're like, you know what, same old year. You know, nothing's different. There's no sense of urgency. Now there's a sense of urgency with the Colts playing a Raider team who's really struggled. Derek Carr is not healthy. The back's been beating him up. The team has just not played well. The defense is very weak. And when you look at the numbers this year, the Colts have a huge edge defensively. Number 6 in the league, allowing just 5.2 yards of play. Their defense last 3 weeks, they allowed 26 at New England. One was, I believe, a defensive touchdown or a very short field. 17 points at Washington, 19 points at Tennessee. On the road, I think they'll play well on the road here. The defense will travel, and the defense will keep the Colts in this game. It'll be right down to the wire. Last team to scores, last team to kicks that field goal wins the game. So I'll take plus 190 with the Colts here.
Man, I respect all the research and the deductive reasoning. I just have a hard time wrapping my head around making a definitive pick on a guy making his NFL head coaching debut. Does that not scare you off with Jeff Saturday at all?
Not whatsoever, because he's going to put his guys to work, offensive coordinators, defense coordinators, special teams. Everybody will do their job. Jeff Saturday's just basically here to oversee it, be a new voice. And the players, that's what they needed. I think this team needed a new voice to be heard, and I think you're going to get a great effort out of this Colts team. But it's the defense that I'm really laying my money on in this football game.
All right, Kenny's laying the Colts plus 110 on the money line, which he's 190 on the money line, which is saying he says Jeff Saturday's going to get his first win in his first game as a head coach. How about a top play on the over?
You know, I got to look at Miami anytime they're playing right now. This offense is just clicking on all cylinders. Right now, number 2 in the NFL in yards per play at 6.5 yards per play. The defense is weak. The Dolphins don't have a D. 25th in the NFL. Cleveland on the other side, same thing. Their strength has been on the offensive end. Number 10 in the NFL yards per play. Number 19 defensively. Brownies are 6-2 to the over this year. Their lowest scoring game this year, 43 points. That's the lowest scoring game they've had this year. Miami's over the last 2 weeks. Way over the total, 35-32 at Chicago, 31-27 at Detroit. Over 49 for me in this one.
Look, there's a reason why more often than not we're seeing you pick the under. That's because nearly 60% of games so far this season have gone with the under. So that's really good. Gives you a little leeway here, but it also puts a little pressure on you to get this one right. What's your top play for an under this weekend?
Yeah, you got that right. I didn't know there was a short pickings for the over finding Miami, but unders, there were several games I did like, but I zeroed in my best play. Lowest total I made. Denver is at Tennessee this weekend. The Broncos 7-1 under this year. 4 straight have gone under. Tennessee 6-2 to the under. They've gone under 5 straight times. Derrick Henry running the football great right now. And that's what Mike Vrabel does when he wants to get in playoff form. Run the football, stop the run. That's what Tennessee's doing right now. They're shortening football games up. The Seattle or Denver's the same way. I said Seattle because their quarterback Russell Wilson. Denver has been the same way. Run the football, run the clock, shorten the game. Number one defense in the NFL, allowing just 4.8 yards of play. That's the Denver Broncos. Their median score this year, 16 to 16 and a half. Tennessee's median score is 20 to 18 and a half. A little bit closer to the total, but when you're playing a team like Denver, they're going to drag you down a little bit more. I think this is a 17-14 type of football game, Russ.
All right, quick recap of Kenny's picks here. He likes the Bears, giving 2.5 at home to the Lions. Colts with new head coach Jeff Saturday on the money line. Kenny has the Browns and Dolphins going over. Niners and Broncos over, and the Broncos and Titans failing to hit the 39. All right, last thing, Kenny, send us into the weekend with a parlay to Sabre, will you?
Well, we're going to take the Colts. We'll take the 4.5 in the parlay. So even if they lose this game, I think they're going to stay within 4. Add in that the Chargers, team with the better record playing in this game, California rivals, getting a full touchdown against the 49ers. And I'm going to parlay that to the under. I think it's going to be a rock'em sock'em type of game. Big game for both teams. Both teams need this win. I'm looking at a 21-20 football game. Very close game, right down to the wire. So Colts with the Chargers to the under.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.